Greetings, students. We are back to working on our signature assignment. So let's take a look at what's going to be due this week. So hopefully I can clear out any questions you might have, any of that. So we're moving through the assignment here. We've already turned in our questions and our hypotheses, and I have given you guys feedback on that. All of you have received feedback if you turned it in, mostly just to help you narrow it a little bit. So for this section, you're going to be doing two separate things. So the first thing you're going to be doing is background research, okay? So you're going to research the general background of your topic. None of you are asking unique questions. That's the great thing about humanity. There's never any unique questions. We're all asking the same stuff. So have other people conducted research in an attempt to answer your question. What is the existing research on this topic? This is going to be a time to use the library. That's going to be the best place for us to look at these types of things. We're going to want to be looking in journals, academic sources, books, things like that. Wikipedia is not an acceptable source for a college anything, so we're not going to be using that. We're going to find published articles, actual research, things from, there's government studies, there's health studies, there's all kinds of stuff. So there's lots of options here. Sky's the limit. Just, find other people who have done things similar to your topic or to your topic, just so you can find out what's out there, just to figure out if you maybe need to adjust your research question or your hypothesis, or, maybe you need to narrow it down a little bit. The background research is also going to give you guys a lot of ideas about how to do your project. So depending on what you're doing, an experiment may not be the best option. It may be the best option to use a survey, or it might be an option to use like a focus group. So this will kind of give you some ideas about, what kind of methodologies you want to use, which is good, because the other part of this assignment is deciding what methodology you're going to use to find the answers to your question. So are you going to do an experiment? Are you going to do a survey? Are you going to, quote unquote, people watch? Sit outside and make naturalistic observations of interactions, that kind of thing. Are you going to do interviews? That's also an option. Lots of ways to do research. So I want you to provide me with detailed information regarding your methodology. So like what kind of type you're going to be using, how many people you plan to use in it, any mistakes you may have made, things like that. Surveys or interviews need to have at least 15 questions. We need to be asking them more than one thing. I believe there's some information on here about how many people have to be in your study. It's okay. You don't need to worry so much about having tons and tons of people, as long as you have at least, I'd say 5. That will work. It does not have to be your classmates. It's an online class that would be really hard to do. Use people around you, use your family, use your friends. That's fine. The only thing we definitely need to be doing, and we'll talk more about this when we get to experiment week, but we need consent, okay? We're going to be learning about various experiments that have been done without consent, and it's not nice, okay? So it's important that we give people informed consent, that we tell them what we're doing and why we're doing it, okay? That's really important when we're doing research. So once you have that information together, once you've done your background research and figured out what other people have said, and then once you've decided what kind of methodology you want to use and how you're going to formulate that, you're going to go ahead and put all that together for me and turn it in. Make sure we cite all of our resources. I do not care what citation style you use, whatever your favorite is, that's fine. But it has to be consistent and you have to cite, otherwise that's plagiarism and that's not good. So for this assignment, it's going to be a little longer than the first one, obviously. And it's perfectly fine if you've moved on, or if you start doing the background research and you realize, oh, wait, my hypothesis wasn't great. I think I'm going to need to change it. That's fine. That's science, guys. That's how this works. So that's perfectly fine. Do not worry about that. So the complete assignment, it's probably going to be about a page or two, not super long. Size 12 font, 1-inch margins. Yes, I know all the tricks. Submit in Doc or DocX. It's weird when you do PDF. Also, AI, never acceptable, never okay for a college classroom, or at least not in this classroom. All of that. So it is perfectly fine if you have moved on at this point, if you start doing that background research and you realize your original question needs to be changed, or you realize that you need to adjust your hypothesis, that's perfectly fine. That's literally part of the process. But that's the section that we're going to be working on this week. Once you get that done, turn that in. I believe this is the last thing you have to do this week, so I believe you will be done. Isn't that exciting? All right, I'll see you guys next week.